Hello. I'm here to learn some very extreme bar tricks.
They're extremely good for getting free drinks in a bar.
And that's what I need. Yeah.
We're going to start with what I consider to be the easiest one. We've got a toothpick, and we've got a fork and a spoon. So by putting the toothpick on the edge of this glass, you should not be able to balance both the fork and the spoon on this side, right?
Yeah, tip over.
Right. And now the trick to make this happen, and you can make a bet on somebody saying, you got to give me a free drink if I'm able to, right? Now what you do is you fix it like this, all right? Now we put our toothpick through here, okay? And there's just a little sweet spot. Boom. We have done it. We've succeeded.
Wow.
Let's see if I can match your freak over here.
One hand, it's gonna be ambitious. Oh, look at that. One of my favorite things about Lux, she loves watching UFC fights as much as I do. And I reached out to Dana White, the president of the UFC, to ask if we could both come and watch the fights in person. And he said, hell yeah. So they put us up in this insane suite at the Red Rock Casino Resort.
Thank you. Wow.
The living room sofa in this suite was just rotating the whole time. So we got a time lapse taking a nap on it. And Lux and I both religiously meditate. And we did it on the rotating sofa.
And we boned on the rotating sofa.
I didn't even make a half rotation, dude. I went to Mega Ramp contest at Bob Burnquist's house. Legends everywhere. Sky Brown, who became an Olympic medalist. Jake Brown, who took the world's harshest slam at the X Games.
Oh my God. Oh, shit.
Christian Hosoi, who invented the Christ Air. That contest was insane. They start out going up this 24-foot tall step up. And I'm watching all this while I'm sitting next to Ryan Williams from the Nitro Circus, who tells me he doesn't have his pads, he's not going to ride. But then Tony Hawk shows up, and suddenly he doesn't give a shit if he has pads. He just warmed up with a double backflip, and his front wheel came so close to death. Whoa. Eddie Damastoy did a 720 over the long gap into a 540 on the quarter pipe. But the highlight for me was watching Elliot Sloan do a huge Christ Air while I was standing next to Christian Hosoi, who, remember, invented the Christ Air. Is that just because he's standing
Yeah,
here?
of course. Yeah, dude.
The craziest weekend with my Nelk Boys bro Steve will do it. UFC 264. Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier 3. Donald Trump shows up with the Secret Service. He's sitting directly in front of Steve will do it. If Steve will do it coughs, he's coughing on the President of the United States.
I'm like Donald Trump. I'm like Donald Trump. Yeah.
And Conor McGregor called me a crackhead on the UFC Instagram page. So I decided to bet $1,000 on Dustin Poirier. I'd take a photo with Joe Rogan, and then Dustin Poirier made a pretty strong argument that I'm not a crackhead after all.
By TKO, Dustin Poirier.
Devo! Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Called you a crackhead, bro?
He called me a crackhead, man. And all I said was that you're a nicer guy, a better fighter, and that it wasn't even gonna be close.
That wasn't just the greatest date night Lux and I have ever had. It might have been the best night ever. And I'm so profoundly grateful to Dana White and the UFC for always taking such good care of me, man. I was a kid in a candy store. Thank you so much. It was disgusting for people to have a conversation with me because of this odor coming out of my mouth.
And did flossing solve that?
It did.
A lot of times acid reflux will present with bad breath.
Wow. In our culture, like you'll tell somebody if they've got like a booger in their nose,
Yeah.
you know? But nobody can bear to say to somebody, dude, your breath.
Sure.
When I smell that very distinctive bacteria smell coming out of someone's mouth, I want to tell the person like, hey, I don't want to be unkind, but I want you to know that I can smell this thing that I used to have a problem with. And the answer is to go to the dentist and get a cleaning and then floss. And a real tell is that if you floss and smell the floss, you can tell them.
Well, yeah, that actually happens to people that are healthy as well if they haven't flossed in a little while.
My best friend, Abdullah, who I met in 4th grade, he graduated from Brown University with a 4.0, went on to Cornell Medical School, and went on to become a pediatric surgeon at the Mayo Clinic.
Wow.
And literally invented methods of operating on unborn children still in the womb.
Wow.
And now you can operate on children before they're born because of my buddy Abdullah.
Wow.
We could not have taken more different paths.
Yes.
Yeah, we'd stayed in touch all these years.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, 80% of my senior class went on to Ivy League schools. And I was effectively a loser for going to the University of Miami, which is actually like a pretty good school.
Exactly.
The high school that I went to. It was called the American School in London.
You probably got a lot of brain damage, bro.
Yeah, I'm always tired. My testosterone is kind of low. My vitamin D.
A lot of that also comes from brain damage. Testosterone being low is a big issue with football players, ex-fighters. Your pituitary gland is very sensitive, and that's one of the things that happens to people literally just from jet skiing. Even without getting hit in the head, just anything that causes your head to shake around a lot.
Wow. I went to the chiropractor, and they're like, dude, you're in so much better shape than I expected you would be in, except for, she says, the opening at the back of your throat is very narrow. Like, do you ever find that you sleep a full night's sleep, but you wake up and you're still tired? And I was like, Jesus Christ, that's exactly me.
Sleep apnea.
Yeah, they said I have sleep apnea.
Super common. You know, you get a mouthpiece to fix that.
I know I got to, but I already have a...
You get a fake tooth. Yeah, but the mouthpiece, fortunately, it fits on the bottom. Fits in only on the bottom, and what it does is a tongue depressor, and it presses down your tongue, keeps your tongue from sliding back. I'm super skeptical of chiropractors, by the way.
I'm not a big fan of that.
Heard too many regular doctors say that's just horseshit.
Right. I'm Steve-O, and this is the Fart Bash. This one requires a little bit of explanation. I couldn't even smell anything coming through that hose, but the mere idea of it being disgusting was enough to make me vomit. As a matter of fact, we had to shoot this one twice because I vomited before we even got started the first try. I just have a very active imagination. That's why I'm such a premature ejaculator. If something seems like it might be sexy, and if something seems like it might be gross, the first time I was ever in a jail cell was the night before I graduated high school in 1992 in London, England. And the night before graduation, I was getting hammered at a pub. I chugged a pint of lager and threw the glass against the wall, smashing it everywhere. And I did that right in front of a cop who took me to jail. So I get home at like 6 in the morning. I'm hungover as shit at my graduation.
Dude, one of the funniest guys I ever met was a private detective that I worked for. He lost his license in a DUI, and I wound up being his driver. He was the funniest guy I ever met in my life. And while I was doing stand-up, I was like, this guy just did stand-up. He would put me out of business. Everybody that you like that wants to do stand-up, you should encourage them to do it. Like my friend Brendan Schaub, he does stand-up.
What a great dude.
He's a great guy, and he's funny. And I told him he should do stand-up.
And he's smart.
And he works hard.
Yeah.
I like stand-up. I want my mailman to try it. He might be funny.